Welcome back, book lovers. Thanks for joining us on another episode of 3 Minutes with the Author. I'm your host, Shail Rajan, and in less time than it takes the average person to run a mile, I'll help you find your next favorite read and discover new to you authors. Joining me today is Annie M. Ballard, whose new release, The Helping Heart, which is book 4 in her Sisters of Stella Mare series, is now available for pre-order. Annie, welcome to the show. Let's jump right in. What's one thing you'd like readers to know about you and your writing style?
I think the most important thing is that I try to write about real life characters, and that probably comes from my background as a psychotherapist. So I've spent 20 years of my life working as a psychotherapist, primarily with women. And now I write fiction about women, and I'm really interested in delving into character, looking at what makes people tick, what are the struggles that people have, and what are the things that make life worth living. And that's mostly what I try to write about. And I write my books tend to be very straightforward. They're not characters are complicated, but the books aren't. So they're not difficult to consume, and I'm pretty committed to a happy ending.
Oh, I love that. Well, tell us about this new release and the series itself.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'm very excited about the new release because it's the culmination of a series of 4, and each book has been about one sister in a family that, of course, I created. But now they feel like people I know. And what happens in this book is the oldest sister comes home to the little town that they all grew up in, thinking everything's going to be fine. And the girls start fighting like cats and dogs, like a bunch of teenagers, actually. And their father can't stand it. He's like, you got to stop this, and tells her, you have to fix it. And her version of fix it up to now has been tell everybody what to do, be bossy, be critical, tell them the things, which of course the big, sisters don't go for that stuff. We're all grown-ups now. And I realized writing that book that the easiest scenes for me were the scenes of the girls fighting. And it just felt so familiar, and probably because I'm the oldest sister, which is not something I really am happy to admit. But I suspect those scenes are pretty realistic because I think I was a pretty rotten big sister for some time. But anyway, the girls, in order to fix their relationship, decide to go on an epic hike here, actually a real hike that you can take here in the Canadian Maritimes along the Bay of Fundy. And so I had a wonderful time researching the Fundy Footpath, which is the hike that they took, and writing about their actual physical experiences hiking, the adventure of hiking, and then the emotional experience of hiking with your sisters and all the kinds of things that can happen in that setting. So I'm pretty excited about the launch of this book. It's been a lot of fun to write, and I hope it's a lot of fun to read.
Oh, that's great. Well, where can readers find your books online?
Ebooks are available everywhere.
Mhm.
They're available on all your online sources, and I've recently discovered how easy it is to read on Google Play, for
Yeah.
example. You don't just click once on your phone and you got your book.
Mhm.
Um, there was another piece I was going to say. Oh yeah, Kobo Plus. My books are in Kobo Plus, so if you're a subscriber to Kobo Plus, they're
Okay,
all available there.
great.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
learn a little bit more about you now. I'm going to ask you a series of this or that questions. Just let me know
Okay.
which you are. Are you a plotter or a pantster?
I would love to be a plotter, but my characters have minds of their own. And I discovered, especially in writing this series where I had one sister for each book, that I focused on one sister for each book, that until I know my characters, I don't
Mhm.
really know what they're going to do. And once I
Mhm.
start finding out more about them, then the plot can often take its own turn, which is not a very efficient way to write, but it sure
Oh,
is
but
fun.
it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it's the
That's how
best.
I write as well. So I love that. Well, are you traditionally or indie published?
I'm indie published, and I love being indie published. I love having um, not just control. I don't like that word so much, but I like the responsibility of finding my editor and finding a cover. And I love helping to craft the actual physical product. It's great fun.
Coffee or tea?
Depends on the time
Okay.
time of day. So
Uh-huh.
tea first thing in the morning and coffee right after that. So
All right.
yes,
Early bird or night owl?
early bird. Absolutely.
Same with me. Pen and paper or laptop?
Laptop.
Series or standalone? I think we've probably answered that one.
It's a good question though, because all of my books can be read as standalones.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I would do a series again because it's been an odd commitment. You know,
Mhm.
it's been so intense. I'm looking forward actually to the next standalone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you planning something? You already have your next book in the works?
Well, in as much as a discovery writer has something in the works, I have some characters in mind. I don't know
Oh,
what's going to happen to them yet.
yeah. That's a great feeling though. Small town or big city?
Small town.
All right, well, that's it for us. A huge thank you to my guest, Annie M. Ballard, whose new release, The Helping Heart, is now available for pre order. I'm your host, Shail Rajan. Thanks for joining us on 3 Minutes with the Author. Stay tuned for information on where to find books by my guest. Watch the latest episodes and see who'll be joining us next. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you.
It was lovely.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.